What is up, everybody? Welcome to our show, our new show. We're back. It's not new, but we're back. I'm your host, Chocolate, and I'm here with my co-host, Adam Schwaggins, the one and only.
Hello. Damn, look at my triceps jiggling on it. Jesus Christ.
Dude. BlizzCon got to us bad, man.
The whole time you're just like, we have to record something. We have to bring the podcast back.
We have to bring something back, man. So
we have to do it.
What we're doing is today is our first episode in a very long time, and we were, brainstorming what we wanted to do, and we decided we're going to bring back the podcast. It may be named podcast. It may be named a different name.
We don't know.
We don't know yet. We'll
leave it for now.
We're going with the flow. But the most important thing is the subject matter of what we are talking about today, which is BlizzCon.
Yeah.
And
I mean, like
the BlizzCon experience in general.
Yeah. Well, first of all, like, BlizzCon was just insane, and I was really not. I don't know what I went in expecting, like a world revamp expansion, Classic Plus, whatever else on top of that. And I wasn't really expecting what we got. And now that I know what we got, like, literally, I remember just, like, walking around, like, after all the announcement, I was just like, what? Like, what the fuck, man? Like, really? Like, is this for real? And then, like, I realized that now that, I mean, I may not necessarily have, like, the bandwidth for this, just given everything that I do, but, like, I was walking around and I'm like, damn, like, now that WoW is actually good, like, I'm motivated to stream, and I'm motivated to, like, make content for it and just, like, be more active in the WoW community again, because, like, before I just felt like feedback was going to the fucking shitter and nobody was listening to anybody, really.
Yeah, it was like
and it's just now like, somehow, like, all of my wishes have come true in World of Warcraft, so I'm super excited about. Sorry if the chair is squeaking, but I'm super excited about, like, the future of WoW and all of these evergreen features that are going to be added to retail, and making Classic like a seasonal game now that's kind of reflective of Diablo's, like, cycle of how they put content out. And I'm just super pumped. I'm really just not excited about Cataclysm, but if people are, that's fine. I'm not going to play Cataclysm at all.
So, like, in my opinion, Classic WoW is Classic, TBC, and Wrath. Like, after Wrath, like, Classic WoW is no longer, and if you're wanting to do the new level of experience, just play retail WoW. Like, just play, play retail and just level through Cataclysm. You can just do that.
Yeah,
you can just level through it.
Cataclysm isn't Classic to me.
No,
so
it's not.
Like, now that they're officially announcing Cataclysm Classic, it's like, what's stopping them from doing MoP Classic?
Well, I think they're going to. I think they're going to go through the entire genre, epilogue, or category of games. Which
it's like, after a certain point, like.
Well, I mean, eventually we're going to have Dragonflight Classic, and everyone's be like, "Oh man, Dragonflight Classic, we got to go back, dude!" And oh, I can't wait to make my Drakthir in Dragonflight Classic. It's like, when is the madness going to end?
But that's the thing. It should have ended in
Classic Legion, though.
Okay, here's my thing. Here's my thing about that. Like, and if you know me, like, Legion is my favorite expansion of all time, and I just had the best time in Legion. Sure, there were faults with, like, the legendary system and stuff like that, RNG, but, like, Legion was just my favorite time as a WoW player, and I've been waiting for WoW to match the quality of Legion since Legion ended, and it just hasn't happened. So if they do a Legion Classic, I don't know if I would play it, but, like, I've always been in the camp of make modern WoW as good as it was. Make Azeroth great again.
Hell yeah, brother.
Make WoW as good as it was in Legion, rather than going back and making us replay. Like, people are just like, oh, MoP was really good. I'd love to go. Like, sure, people want to play classic MoP, that's fine.
Yeah.
And I don't care if people want to play, like, these classic versions of the game, but, like, I would rather see the good from the previous expansions get ported over to the modern version and keep those good things as evergreen content in the modern version of the game, because that's how you make that game like survive, in my opinion, rather than just like playing fucking old nostalgia.
WoW is in a weird spot where their target audience is people who have already played WoW, and like they're just trying to rekindle that nostalgic feeling of being in Azeroth, which it's a very real thing. I mean, I've been playing WoW since 2007, so over half of my life I've been playing WoW, 16 years now almost. And I mean, if I could go back to 16 years ago and play WoW for the first time again, like I would give anything for that. I would however much money you want me to give, like I'll give it. Like just give me that experience one time, but that's not a real thing. Like you can't remake it, but we're gonna get to all of that. So I mean, like back to like BlizzCon in general. So you were saying like that it wasn't what you were expecting, and it was my first time going. So but I've seen BlizzCons in the past, right? Like I've watched I've gotten like the show, like you like buy like the $40 or whatever to watch a pay-per-view or whatever, something like that. Like I've done those before, and for me, like obviously it's my first time going, so I'm just excited to be there and excited to see the announcements. I think if I were to compare this BlizzCon to previous years, the announcements were the best announcement they've ever made, but the con itself, quality-wise and like activities-wise, was probably the lowest quality of convention.
I kept saying like throughout the whole fucking weekend pretty much, where it was like, you know, the last BlizzCon, they had all these panels about like the devs building zones live in front of you, or like voice actors talking about their experience and stuff like that. Or, you know, there were other panels that were just more like detailed with like behind the scenes stuff. And then this was just like, here's the main thing. Here's what's coming next in WoW. Here's the deep dive. Bye.
Yeah.
And we literally were just like walking around.
We pretty much did the one panel on Saturday and then stood around for about 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
For the community night.
Yeah.
And and we didn't even go to the community night because the line was so packed, and there's no good place to be.
Yeah, the lines were bad.
The lines were really bad, which like I understand there's a lot of people, but there was no other stages happening. There was only the one main stage. And so everyone was kind of like just trying to get to that one main stage, and there was no like seating really in the other halls. Like they had like the Warcraft Tavern, which had like probably 12 picnic tables for 20,000 plus attendees. They had like 12 plus picnic tables, and I literally saw people like sitting on the floor, just like on the floor, in the middle of the hall, like.
Mike was like, this is a fire hazard.
This is a hazard. Like people like. So I think. Like Blizzard actually sent out surveys for people who attended BlizzCon, and
did they? I don't think I got
maybe because like I bought the ticket and then I transferred to you, like maybe you won't get one, but I remember like they sent me a thing, and I like was listing all the things that I didn't like about it. Like obviously like I had a great time and I loved going and I would 1000% go again, but for me it was just like, I mean on Saturday.
What were they asking you, and what did you say?
Well, so they asked like, well, what do you care about? What sponsors did you notice?
Probably Mountain Dew. That's it.
Probably Mountain Dew. Yeah, your finest red, please.
Finest red.
And so I mean, it's just basically like generic survey questions, like, well, what did you attend? Which halls did you visit? What experiences did you do? And speaking of experiences, they're all just photo ops.
Yeah,
that's all it was. It was all just photo ops, but like
those are cool. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but you do it once and you don't need to do it again.
Exactly.
And sometimes you can just look at it and not be like, oh, that's really cool, and then I don't care to stop and take a picture.
Yeah. I don't know. I think like the first day like was so jam packed, and there was so many people there. Like I thought it was a literal fire hazard from how many people were like sandwiched like sardines into the Anaheim Convention Center. And then the second day there was just like nothing to do. Like we went to the opening, or we watched the opening in the WoW Hall in the first day, and then we went to the next panel for World of Warcraft, and that was really cool. And kind of just walked around, right? What else did we do? I don't remember.
So we I think the first day we pretty much just explored the convention. So we got there, stood in a line that was about 3.5 miles long.
Oh no, there was another classic panel.
Yes,
right?
so
Classic.
we were not able to get into the opening ceremonies because they had some sort of raffle system where if whatever like and I have an issue with that as well because the raffle system was fine if like a group of people who bought tickets gets to stay together, but like only one person may get the raffle and the other person who else is also in your party like may not have that ticket. And from what I heard, they were just letting people in regardless. Like, they weren't even checking the tickets. So it was kind of like this big miscommunication thing. And just kind of like this big shit show where, like, some people got in, some people didn't. And, like, for us, I didn't want to be separated from the group because I had been offered, like, oh, like, well, come with us. Like, you know, we have, like, an extra raffle ticket for the opening ceremony. While it would have been really cool to see their opening ceremony in person, I would much rather be, like, in the core group of our friends and the people that, like, they're, like, the real reason why I went to BlizzCon was to meet everybody. Like, that's why I went.
Yeah, and I even said the same thing about last year. Like, even though like there were actually cool things to go see and do like during the convention not last year, but like the last 2019, convention.
Yeah.
Like I still like none of it really mattered to me, but you know the biggest part was seeing everybody that like lived on Twitter and lived on Twitch that I've gotten to know like. You know, in the past 4 years since the previous BlizzCon, you know, it was the trip alone is like even if you don't get tickets for the actual convention, I would still get tickets like to fly out and stay in the area and like hit up the Anaheim convention. I mean the Hilton lobby and the Marriott lobby.
Just go to Disney World or Disneyland during the day when the convention's happening. Yeah, and then go to the Marriott and party with everybody.
Watch it on your phone, like get all the info with everybody else.
Yeah,
like you know. It's such a good time. It was such a good time, and it's just crazy. Like I don't know, man. I get emotional when I go there because like all the WoW stuff is only things that I've like absorbed and like seen on like my computer screen or my headphones. And then when you walk into this convention center, they're blasting like the Stormwind music. You're like, oh shit! Like World of Warcraft
it's real.
Like, exists outside of my screens.
Yeah,
exactly. It's a real thing, and other people.
I thought like the quality of each individual hall was super high. Like the way that they had them set up was really cool, and all of the stuff you could like visually they were very nice to like be inside. Like it was really cool.
The Diablo one was
the Diablo was the coolest one, but I felt like Hearthstone but World of Warcraft kind of got like the short end of the stick because we had World of Warcraft, Hearthstone, Warcraft Rumble, and the Darkmoon Fair all in the smallest hall. So, like, the Overwatch hall spanned 2 halls.
Yeah.
And Diablo also spanned, like, Diablo was, like, the second biggest hall.
Right.
And so I feel like Warcraft was just really crammed, and I would love to have, like, I want to have more love for Warcraft, because, let's be real, the loudest cheers came from the WoW stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that's in my experience, like, okay, well, like, the people who are here, they want good WoW content. And speaking of WoW content, let's go straight into what was announced at BlizzCon.
Yeah.
So so there was in total 5 expansions or new games announced for at BlizzCon. There was the classic Cataclysm, which like is fine. It's cool. They said that they were listening to the community and this is what the community wanted. I don't know.
They fucking gaslit us, bro.
I don't know honestly, a single person.
I don't think anybody said Cataclassic. Oh, I want to play Cataclassic. Don't give me Classic Plus. Don't give me that.
I would have rather them just announce a fresh Classic server. Like
they probably will too.
Now we're getting fresh. Like let's go fresh servers. Like fresh servers are so much fun.
Yeah, I mean at this point, like with Season of Discovery, like I think that was the thing I'm the most excited about, like out of all of the announcements. So like I'm not even gonna touch any version of WoW like when that's out. Like that's just gonna be my main game.
Yeah,
because I'm so fucking hyped.
And then
it.
Of course, speaking, and the next thing was Season of Discovery, which is
the next thing was Season of Discovery.
That was the second thing that they announced. So it was like Cataclysm and then Season of Discovery. And
it's so funny because Sarth like whispered in our ear the night before, and he was just like, they're not doing Kata Classic. And we're like, oh, what are they gonna announce, bro? And they fucking announced Kata Classic.
Oh yeah, and
I was literally like, is this a joke?
I was like, this motherfucker. He just like debated us
I
so
literally
hard.
thought they were joking.
Yeah, so Season of Discovery, which is it's an insane idea for them to even try. The way that I like thought about it was it's pretty much like extension. It's pretty much extension WoW, but Blizzard sanctioned. So like you're gonna have, there's gonna be like level caps, and they're adding new content based on what level cap that you're in. So like the first cap is up to level 25, which is honestly the perfect level to start it off with, because I feel like level 60 is so daunting for people who want to try this new game, but they're like, well, what if I don't like my class at level 45 and I'm already, 25 days in, and I'm like, well, now I got to like start over. So
yeah, I agree, and I'm so excited for Season of Discovery simply because of that, where it's like the level cap is low to start out with, and there's a lot of room for altaholics. That's why I really didn't get the chance to like take advantage of Classic the way I wanted to, because like I couldn't really find like a class that resonated with me very well. And when I finally did, it was the Burning Crusade pre-patch. So it's like,
it was already too late. You're like, oh well, I guess like.
It's just like pointless. I wish I had figured out and like done my homework as to what class I wanted to play before, whatever. But I guess I was caught up with doing freelance work for other people. But now that like all the classes are getting a rework essentially, and like the next level is lower.
Well, I feel like the barrier to entry is so small now.
So I'll play all of them.
Yeah, like you could like. It doesn't take very long to get to level 25 in Classic WoW, and it's not like you're playing hardcore where when you die and that's it. Like that's done. At least like now, like if you die, like okay, we'll just res and go again. Like keep the adventure going. Like if you die, it's not the end of the world. I feel like a lot of people are gonna like freak out when they die for the first time after playing hardcore for so long, and they're gonna be like oh yeah, 18 hours down the drain. No,
I know.
And it's like, no, it's fine. You can just release Spirit. You're okay. Don't worry. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah. So I think Season of Discovery is going to be really fun, because so essentially what they're doing is they're making new content for the game. So at level 25, there's a new 10-man raid, which is a revamped Black Fathom Deeps, which is a very famous dungeon in classic World of Warcraft. It's one of my favorite dungeons of all time. I love the jumping puzzle. I remember I have like vivid memories of going to my friend's house and bringing my laptop and us doing that dungeon together while we were leveling back in like Wrath days. Like we were like leveling up alts. So I loved that dungeon. So seeing it become a raid is really cool. They're adding like new mechanics to the bosses and new gear. So there's gonna be like everything is new, but it's classic. And
so they designing new gear to fit the classic. Really? Yes. I didn't get that part.
Yeah.
I thought they were just.
So they showed some items, and they showed like some of the pictures of like what the items would look like, and they have that classic aesthetic. They're not like super upscaled. They showed
that? I didn't see that shit.
You're probably too busy crying.
See, like that's the thing. I told you, like I was there, but I don't think I was there mentally the whole time. There was a big part of me trying to absorb absorb the fact that I was sitting where I was sitting and seeing what I was seeing.
Yeah.
And then there was another part of me that was trying to absorb the actual information that they were presenting, and that was a very small part of me.
Oh yeah. Like I tried to get photos during it, and I was like too busy like I was just too busy being shell shocked the entire time. I'm like, what is this?
I really didn't get as many pictures with other people that I wanted to, because I just was talking to so many people, but then I never really remembered to be like, oh, can I get a picture? Because I'm so in the moment. And the same thing with TwitchCon too. Like I saw a lot of people, I just didn't get any pictures with other people too.
Yeah, so. It was really just a crazy weekend. From start to finish. Like it felt like a whirlwind of just like craziness the entire time. Like I think we got maybe 8 hours of sleep the entire weekend.
Yeah, probably less.
About like we were going to bed at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, waking up at 7, like ready to go for and like getting to the convention like right when we got it, pretty much.
And I did the same thing at TwitchCon, so like my body has just been fucked up, and now I'm kind of recovering, which is good.
You're finally
November was a wild month.
It was crazy, and so I
Wait, I
really
think November was a wild month. We're still in November. I mean,
yeah,
November, October.
yes,
That era of life has been wild.
yeah,
For me.
yeah. From TwitchCon to BlizzCon was just nonstop nonsense.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
so after Season of Discovery, they announced the next 3 World of Warcraft expansions. So it was
Wild.
The War Within, Midnight, and The Last Titan, and they're calling it the World Soul Saga. And I forgot who we were speaking to. Maybe it was Mike, but they were saying like, oh, like Chris Metzen is a big Marvel fan, and so he's
Yeah, that was
like,
him. Yeah.
okay, so like it makes sense that he's like trying to like base these WoW expansions in like a Marvel theme where like it's a continuing story, and I really like that because at least there's like a direction and there's a purpose. Like you know that the story's not going to pivot 180 degrees, and you're like, well, like what's happening here? Like that's kind of how I felt pretty much from like Cataclysm was like the last like true like linear type story, and then like it was like Mop Pandas. Oh, yeah. Going back in time. Now we're in Draenor. Oh, guess what? The Legion's back. Oh, and now we're doing.
At least Draenor and Legion kind of flowed into each other, though.
Yeah.
At least that happens. Because Gul'dan.
Yes, because Gul'dan. Well, yeah, because of Gul'dan.
Yeah.
But then after that, it was like BFA, and it's like, okay, well, now we're doing random Azerite stuff. There's a sword, but and then like we cleanse the sword with our artifact power, but like, what happens? Like then the sword is just like there.
What sword?
What sword? Yeah, that's pretty much how I felt. It's like, oh, like forget about that. You don't need to worry about that.
Yeah.
And then
I was watching Bellular's stream because I'm editing their content for their streams, and Matt was talking about how the 3 expansions that they announced are going to flow together so well, and the way he laid it out, I don't necessarily know if I want to like elaborate on like what exactly he said, because we'll post that video and it's gonna pop off because it's like holy shit, like he put it into perspective. I'm like, damn, I'm actually like really excited because like, never mind, I don't really know what I was going with that, but like lo and behold, like I'm very excited for the 3 expansion like story flowing together.
Oh yeah,
rather than fucking like guessing and just like hopping from one story to the next, like, you know.
Yeah,
like,
that's how it felt, and now like I'm excited because like I like Warcraft story. Like I want to see what the story is, because for me, like if the narrative's not cool or interesting, like I just don't really care.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
I don't like Mythic Plus is Mythic Plus, raiding is raiding, PvP is PvP. Like I want cool narrative story, and I want cool like I want Warcraft to look and feel cool, and to like, okay, well, like these quests that I'm doing, it's gonna matter because we're working towards doing this, right?
War Within expansion one.
Yeah, so the War Within expansion, the cinematic for it was visually one of the best cinematics I've ever seen. I literally thought it was live action for a second. I was like, what in the world is happening?
I know.
And I like completely geeked out over like the sand moving whenever like Thrall touched the sand, or like when Anduin's sword like turned into sand and the sand like crumbled, and I was like, that looks real. So like I totally nerded out about that, and I'm like, I can't even fathom how they would even make that look that good.
I know.
But and then like, you know, they're talking and Anduin's like, I have no light, and he points his sword and it looks just like Arthas, and I'm not saying that there's any relation, but it looks just like Arthas. And then there's a big sword, and they're like, Azeroth's calling out to us, and now we're going in to the deep. We're going inside of Azeroth.
Yeah. So again with the Bellular stream, like they were talking about this, and like before I heard them talking about the cinematic, like I've always disliked Anduin. I was always in the camp of Anduin is a bitch. Like I don't like him. He's a crybaby.
Crybaby, yeah.
The way that Bellular and Matt were discussing this cinematic, I am now an Anduin fan.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, oh shit. Like, okay, I get this now. And they were basically saying like how like the parallels between him and Arthas like don't necessarily mean that like he's like Arthas' son, but they're showing the similarities in the sense that like Anduin did all these bad things like under the influence of the jailer, and that's why he's so regretful and like emotional and like sad about like what he did, and like he feels guilty and blah blah blah, and that's why he can't summon the light anymore. But versus like Arthus, where he had full control over everything, and
Yeah,
he
true.
acted on anything.
He knew what he was doing
on his own accord. So like they're showing the parallels, and like Anduin is like afraid that like he'll become like Arthas or something, and that's why he can't summon the light anymore, because he doesn't have faith in himself, and that's why it's called the War Within, because the War Within is a fucking Anduin, bro. Like, yeah, we're gonna go like into the cracks of the crevices of Azeroth, but like it's also gonna be another meaning of like the War Within Anduin, and like, well, I'm excited to see him grow some balls, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
The way that they described it on the Belly stream, like I'm like, damn, I'm actually kind of an Anduin.
Well, yeah,
fan.
now he doesn't have like that long girly hair, and he has a beard, and and he's like he's Manduin now. He's Manduin. Yeah, he's Manduin. Yeah. So I really liked the cinematic. I thought it was very well directed. And it was
apparently it was all Chris Metzen. Like apparently,
good.
They told Christy Golden to go take a walk, and they just did this.
Good. Not that Christy Golden can't make great cinematics and stories. Like she's made one of the best WoW books of all time. You know, she made Arthas.
It's the way I look at Chris Metzen is the same way that I view Dave Filoni for Star Wars.
Yeah,
I don't.
Just let him cook.
Exactly.
Let him
At this point in time, like I don't trust anybody besides him to really spearhead like the story direction. I mean, of course, Taron Gregory like is in the same camp. Like if Taron Gregory, Chris Metzen, like the same like OG people are like spearheading the stories. Like Christy Golden wrote some great stories, of course, and she contributed to like some really good like story elements of World of Warcraft. But like if it's Christy Golden versus Chris Metzen, like
I want
Chris Metzen all the way. Like,
I want Chris all day every day.
Golden, but
yeah.
You know.
100%.
Yeah,
I could easily talk about this for 3.5 hours, but
I don't want to keep it too long. Yeah,
like,
let's
we're our goal is to have this be around an hour show long, about an hour long. It's kind of the goal. So back to the 3 expansions. So we had the War Within, which you're saying like, like Anduin is going to be having a war within himself, and I feel like they kind of did like that same kind of like cutesy kind of name with Battle for Azeroth, where like we're not like. There is a battle like across the Horde Alliance, but we're also battling for Azeroth. We're battling for the Titan Soul of Azeroth, because there's like the Azerite stuff and rocks, and now there's the Void. Speaking of the Void, a new goth mommy, a new goth elf mommy is here.
So hot.
Xalatath.
I never was really like
so cool.
I never really like. I always thought that like people sipping for like in-game characters and shit, like fake characters, was, like kind of cringe. And then I met Shadowheart, and then now Xalatath, and
now you're all in.
The new Illyria. I'm like, okay.
And now you're gonna start RPing on Moonguard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Imagine. I'm sure there are some like toys in the game where you can like become.
There's literally a tentacle toy in the game. You summon a tentacle on the ground.
There we go.
And I've seen some questionable things in the basement of the Goldshire Inn. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Kind of getting into like the War Within like systems and things like that. I think like there was like war bands, which is essentially like account wide progress. There's obviously the new level cap of 80. That's expected, right?
I don't know why they keep raising the level cap. Stop.
It's just another form of progression. Well, the reason why is because we're getting hero talents, so they have to be like. So they
but
they could
can't do this anymore. Like you have to stop at 80 for good. Like Guild Wars 2, they had the level cap was 80 for the whole time.
Yeah, but who actually plays Guild Wars 2?
A lot of people play Guild Wars 2. What are you talking about?
I don't know a single person who plays Guild Wars 2.
A lot of people are playing Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2 is actually very popular right now.
I don't know anybody who plays that game.
They had a new expansion recently.
The only people who play Guild Wars 2 are WoW rejects.
I mean, who isn't a WoW reject?
I hate Blizzard. I hate Blizzard. They're sexist.
There's a lot of people.
They're a sexist company. I'm gonna go play Guild Wars, where the game is just as sexist and misogynist. Like, okay, dude.
Well, I mean, like, people still play Guild Wars, and regardless. What I'm saying is like, we need to, in order to avoid another level squish problem, we need to stop raising the level cap and we need to, instead of arbitrarily leveling from the previous level cap to the next level cap, just put us through a campaign like we're already doing anyway.
What they could do is like as you progress through the campaign, like at different like marks of the story, you get awarded a hero talent point. Like that's your quest reward. Instead of you leveling up, your quest reward is, instead of XP, you get a point for your for your hero talent tree. Now you still stay at 70, but then it's like your gear still gets better, so there's still scaling on that end. And I don't know, it's just a weird, it's almost like level progression is just like a normal thing in MMOs, at least for WoW. I feel like if they didn't do it, it would feel weird. But they've already announced that they're gonna be doing a stat squish in Midnight.
Oh, did they say that?
Yeah. I was watching some sort of interview, and they were like, "Well, how is there gonna?" Because like you gotta think numbers are only gonna exponentially grow as item level goes up and stats and things like that. It's all math, right? Like it's only gonna go up. So eventually, the numbers are going to get so large that they're incomprehensible. Like back in the end of Legion days, where we were doing like 375 million DPS or whatever it was, and you're hitting for like 12 million. You're like, I have no idea what. Like, it's just large numbers everywhere. It's not really like tangible. You can't really. It's not like easy to digest as you're doing it. It's just like, oh well, like everyone's doing a million DPS, so I guess I'm doing a million DPS, and that's okay. So they said that in this expansion, we're going to be kind of like getting close to that Legion level of number of like damage numbers, the beginning of Legion, not the end of Legion. And they said in Midnight they're going to be doing a number squish. I feel like it'd be easier for them just to squish previous content instead of making the new content like have larger numbers. Right? Does that make sense or no? Am I dumb?
No.
Okay. All right. Very good. Next. So yeah, I mean, I don't really care about the level cap increase. I'm used to it. I think it's just another thing to do. You finish the campaign, you're going to be close to 80 or at 80 anyways. Yeah. And
so can you explain the hero talents to me?
Sure.
I feel like I thought I understood them, but like I don't think I understand them.
Yeah, so hero talents, pretty much what they are is it's an extension of your current class tree, and there's 3 for each class except for Demon Hunter and Druid. Druid has 4, Demon Hunter has 2. So Demon Hunter is the only one where it doesn't matter what spec you are, you can pick one of the 2 trees. For the other ones, you can pick 2 out of the 3. For Warrior, there's Mountain Thane, there was Colossus, and Slayer.
Yeah.
And depending on what spec you are, you can pick 2 out of the 3 hero specs. So for like Protection Warrior, you could pick Mountain Thane or Colossus. Like those are the 2 you can select. And whatever one you select, you're going to get access to that tree. And there's a total of, I think, 10 talent points. So pretty much 1 per level. It's going to unlock at 71. You're going to get the first talent point at 71. And then as you level, you'll get the rest of your stuff. And pretty much what it is, it's just additional flavor, maybe you get like a new ability. It could be like something that empowers a current ability to change your play style. Something that.
So I was trying to figure this out because like I mean I don't know if you have the image of like the names of everything, but like so for example, there's the Death Knight one, and you can be like a Sand Lane. Do you have to be Blood?
You can be Blood or a different spec to be that. So
so it doesn't matter what spec you are. You can choose whatever.
No, so it's like a triangle. And
I don't get the triangle is what I'm saying.
Well, okay, so like if you're a Blood DK, you can only be Sandlin or Rider of the Apocalypse or whatever it is, right? Like you can only choose one of those 2. The third one you're not allowed to choose it. Okay. And if you're Frost, you can be Sandlin or Rider of the Apocalypse or whatever the 2 are available for Frost. Like you can only select the 2 out of the 3 depending on what spec you are. So think of it like you're the spec here, like your blood, you can go this way or this way. And if you're unholy, you can go this way or this way. And if you're frost, you can go this way or this way. So like you can only have two. You can only pick two or one out of the two, depending on what spec you are.
Okay, I think I just need to see it in front of me, like actually play with it in the game.
If you're if you're a protection warrior, you can't pick Slayer. You're not allowed to. You just can't pick Slayer at all. It's not even available to you.
Right. That's what I'm trying.
The only way you can pick Slayer is if you're either Fury or Arms, because they share that tree.
Yeah.
So Blood will share a tree with Unholy and Frost.
Okay.
Frost will share a tree with Unholy, but not with the other one. It's so, like, I'm excited about it. I think the theory of crafting is going to be super cool, and Paladins are getting Templar, which Templars are going to be it's going to be for Retribution.
Dude, Red Paladin right now is the most fun spec in the entire fucking game. It's so good, dude. I swear to God, if they mess with it right now, I'm going to be so mad. They better keep it the same playstyle. They better keep the same slappy dickiness. It's so good. If they'll make it better, that's great. But I love Red Paladin right now. I do not want to play any other spec because no other spec lives up to it right now.
I think the other classes need to have a Red Paladin rework. A Red Paladin level rework, because Red Paladin was like...
the one class that needs like the biggest rework is Rogue, I think.
Rogue just got one.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen it yet.
Apparently,
currently, like now.
Yeah, like it's out. They have it for 10.2 now. So I'm gonna be leveling a Rogue, I think.
And that's the thing. The more that they fuck with these classes, the more I feel like I need to level more of them. Yeah. Level them again and again, because the only way I really understand how to play class is to like level it all the way through. I can't just jump in, So
it makes you want to play the game. Like whenever they're like adding cool stuff to the game, it gets people to want to play again. Like that's what we want. That's all we want. We just want cool stuff to do, and we want fun. We want like fun gameplay stuff.
Exactly. So, and that's why I'm so excited for everything, because they're kind of delivering on all of that.
Well, what's cool too is that like the hero talent stuff is gonna be an evergreen system. It's gonna be in the game forever. Is the goal.
Did they say that specifically?
They're going to be making it an evergreen system. Same thing with like delves. The delves are also going to be
an
evergreen system.
Yeah, because that's like a gameplay thing. But I didn't know.
So they're just going to continue to either expand upon it, or maybe they will, like, instead of your hero talent being this selection, maybe they'll add another one, right? And like instead of two choices, you can get 4 choices now, or something like that. Where like you get like they just start adding more class fantasy. I'm really interested to see like how they branch off from these hero specs. I would love it to be able to where like it like actually changes your spec entirely depending on what hero spec you pick. Like if you're a warrior and you're a prot warrior, I have such a hard on for gladiator warrior, by the way. Gladiator warrior is the best warrior spec, and it's not even in the game anymore. It was the sword and board, gladiator, DPS, big dick tank DPS class. You weren't even a tank. You just had a shield. And you were like...
I would love to be a DPS with a shield.
And it's such a cool idea. And I think that with this system, they could actually make that happen. To where like you could play Prot Warrior and just do damage. Or you could play a Holy Priest and you're just dealing holy damage. You're like a holy caster.
Okay, that sounds like nice.
Why not? Also, I really think with the Rider of the Apocalypse, they're gonna give DKs a Divine Steed type ability, but it's gonna be obviously like an undead steed.
That's a good idea.
I have some good ideas. I've heard.
Yeah, I'm excited because like honestly, like I mained Death Knight from Wrath until Legion, and I revisited Death Knight in Shadowlands, and
Shadowlands
I like
is
it,
good.
But it's still like not my favorite, and I feel like there's something missing from
It honestly
wrong.
it just needs a ret paladin rework. It needs a ret paladin level rework, man. Like
But what I'm
they need
saying
to go through
is,
and overhaul it, reduce some of the buttons you press. Like, have you ever tried
yeah,
playing Unholy DK? It is like
Unholy is a lot. Yeah, I guess what I'm saying is like I'm excited for
like
I'm excited for the hero talents. To
yes.
see how they'll like rebrand the class fantasy for not just Death Knight but for every class. So
The
I'm
only thing
super
that I'm
hyped.
worried about with because like World of Warcraft's all about progression. Whenever they have a new expansion, like you get 10 more levels, you get 10 more talent points, blah 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 blah. Like they were like, we don't want to just keep extending the talent tree, but like they kind of are doing that. They're just instead of extending it down, they're extending it wide. So
Yeah.
I'm the only thing I'm concerned with is like, okay, well, what's after the War Within? Like in Midnight, are we going to get more hero talent trees? Are we going to get more hero talents? Because like you're going to fill out your tree in the new patch or in the new expansion. Like you're not going to have any points left over, or you're not going to have any empty choice and any like empty choices.
Yeah, so here's my question actually. If you don't want to opt into the hero talents, is that allowed?
What do you
Like, because what I'm saying is like,
the talent points you get from level 71 to 80 are only hero talents. They're not applied to like the class tree or the spec tree.
yeah, I guess what I'm saying is like, are the classes from now on being rebranded into these new aesthetics?
I would think so.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I would say it, because like if there's a way to like opt out, then people would just do whatever's meta.
Yeah.
And like people are still gonna do whatever's meta. Like you're gonna have like the meta chasers, the flavor of the month Andes, where they're like, oh well, Frost DK with the Sandlin subspec is really good. Everyone needs to play that because that's the top DPS. And this you have like 3 choice nodes. You have to pick these 3 choices no matter what. Otherwise, you're dog shit at the game, and you're not going to get into any groups. You're not going to be able to clear the content. Blah 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 blah. Whatever they say, right? But I think with the hero talents, what gets me so excited about them is just like the possibility of them potentially like rebranding the current classes. And going back to Season of Discovery, they literally are rebranding current classes. Like warlocks can be tanks, a rogue can be a tank, a shaman can be a tank.
They're not necessarily rebranding, but they're still using the same like aesthetic, like spell abilities and stuff like that.
But they're giving them the option to have that role.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
exactly.
why can't there be shaman tanks in current retail WoW?
Yeah, they should. They should have that. I would do that.
Why can't we have a Metamorphosis Warlock in retail WoW? We gave Metamorphosis to Demon Hunters back in Legion. Like, why can't Warlocks have that too?
And who knows? Maybe they will add that. We don't know.
I think the Season of Discovery is like the ultimate beta test to see like, okay,
yeah, I think they can definitely
is this something that people want? Do people want new specs in WoW? Yes, we do. We want new specs. I want my Gladiator Warrior, baby. Okay. Or
maybe
even a
not
Gladiator
even new
Paladin.
specs, just but like maybe more flavor to the current specs, and that's what we're getting, which is good.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because more specs would be fucking a lot to
mage
manage.
healer, dude.
I'm excited to try that. I've never healed in Classic, but I've healed in retail like a couple of times, and it's actually kind of fun. So I'm excited.
I'm excited to play. It comes out on on November 30th.
Yeah,
it's right around the corner. I want to get into like the data mining shit, dude. Have you seen the data mining stuff?
I haven't looked at fucking anything. I don't.
It makes me kind of mad. Like the data mining stuff makes me mad only because like it takes the spirit out of what the game is supposed to be. It's Season of Discovery.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to know what this shit is. But Wowhead's like, oh, money. Here's some more ad revenue for us. We need to data mine this. And I know that like people are going to data mine no matter what because they have to put the builds live before they release it. But like why? Or at least like put like a spoiler on it so that way like people don't accidentally see something that they don't want to see.
Yeah.
I don't want to know what runes are out there. I know we got to see some of the runes that they had at Blizzcon, but
so what are the runes again? What are they?
Think of it like item enchants. So there's
that's what I thought.
There's a rune for your hands, your gloves, your chest, and your legs, I think, or your boots. Yeah. There's 3 runes available, or 3 rune slots available in the first band of levels, right? Level 25 band. So And then as like once you hit level 40, they may open up like more specs, or not more specs, but like more slots for your runes to, be able to be slotted into. Right. So, but like they've announced like some of the things like the metamorphosis, the time warp heal, the earth shock that becomes a taunt, the like rogue evasion tank type thing where like you reduce your chance to get hit, you increase your threat. So there are things that they've like announced, because they have to announce some things, otherwise people are gonna be like, well, why am I excited about this? Like, what's there to be excited about? Or like they have penance for priests. They have I don't know. They have like warrior stuff. They have like victory rush. You have like a heal. Like you kill somebody, you can use your next ability and heal yourself. So there are things that they've announced, but in my opinion, like people data mining this.
So you find these runes, and then you just automatically like enchant them.
You just apply them to your gear. Correct. Yeah.
But do they come off? Like,
yeah, you can swap them whenever you want, as long as you're outside of combat.
But do you save the one that you got before?
Yeah. Yeah, like okay. it's like a character bound thing. Like you learn the rune, and then like there's like a sidebar to your character screen where you're gonna have all of your runes listed. Think of like an enchant.
Got it.
Yeah. So like whatever enchant you learn, you're not gonna unlearn that enchant. You can swap it out with another one you learn, but it's not gonna it's not like a one-time use type thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt like I just didn't understand the whole thing, but
I feel like
I haven't done any research.
That's kind of like my takeaway from BlizzCon is like there's just so much stuff that it's impossible to know, especially when you care about retail and classic. Because if you only care about
one, didn't play any demos.
And we didn't play. Well, I'm not going to wait in a 3-hour line to play patch 10.2. Like I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait fucking. No, I mean I'm going to wait 4 days and play it there. And also, I didn't want to do the Season of Discovery demo because I don't want to see what's new.
I agree. Yeah, I said the same thing. Yeah, I didn't want to spoil
completely anything. Defeats the purpose for me. Like I don't want to know. I want to see this fresh.
Yeah, exactly. Just go into it raw.
Yeah, I want a raw dog Season of Discovery.
Raw dog in Season of Discovery.
Just like how I'm raw dogging these seeds into the Emerald Dream, dude.
Yeah, exactly. I still don't even know what's going on in the new patch right now.
The Emerald Dream is so fertile, man, and I'm just spreading my seeds everywhere, dude. Okay.
Just spreading your seeds.
I'm just spreading my seeds. Speaking of hardcore, I didn't mention anything about hardcore, but that's the great segue. That's my great segue. They're adding solo self-found to hardcore, so you're not gonna be able to trade. No auction house. Oh yeah,
I was like, wait, what is that again?
Like pretty much, you are you. That's it. Like, but the only thing that makes me mad is once you hit level 60, all those restrictions come off.
Well, yeah, you gotta earn it.
But like hardcore, like the hardcore game, in my opinion, isn't level 60. It's getting to 60.
Yeah.
Like, but like how like.
So that's why it makes sense.
I don't know. I think it's dumb.
Well, you don't even fucking play club hardcore, so you can't talk.
I got to level 4 on my druid. Thank you very much. And I haven't died. Listen,
yeah, I mean, just add that extra layer of difficulty. And
I'm undefeated in hardcore. I haven't died a single time.
Sure, yeah. I died at. I was leveling Cartman, the dwarf warrior, and I was in Westfall, and I was fighting some gnolls, and some guy, this warlock guy, pulled an entire pack of gnolls, and like right next to me, and then just started running away, and they all leashed onto me. And they killed me, bro. They have to get rid of that mechanic. I mean, or that system, or whatever the fuck that is.
Yeah, that's rough, man. See, like if I got to like level 25 and I died in hardcore, I'd be like, all right, well, I guess I'm just not gonna do it again. Like,
yeah, it's just like it's fun until it's not. Like,
I don't want to do it. I don't want to be stressed out. I'm already stressed enough.
I am one of those people that like would level in Elwyn Forest for anxiety or like curing depression or something, right? Like that shit just like, helps. It just hits
the doctor prescribed you 2 hours a week in Elwyn Forest as your
exactly. It's just like safe. It's just comforting. It is what it is. So like, but to do it a million times, like that's a different story.
Yeah, I don't know. I think hardcore is just really not for me. It's not my style of gameplay.
I'm not good at the game, so it's not for me either. But maybe it's. I mean, I've had fun with it.
Yeah.
I've had some fun with it. I'm not playing it full time. I'm not no-lifing it.
Yeah.
But if I wanted to go on, like, I know it's there and I'll go.
So like solo self-found is cool. Like it's a cool thing. I think I don't see any reason why it can't be in the game, because like people are just kind of like self-imposing those rules on themselves now. So like why not just like have it as a feature? That's kind of how we got like hardcore in the first place. People were just self-imposing hardcore
originally.
Like
yeah.
It was like the honor system, right? Like no one was policing it, and then we had the Fifth Horseman incident.
Yep, exactly.
So, but I don't know. I'm super excited about everything WoW related, other than Cataclysm. I'm super excited about.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for Cataclysm for the people that want it.
I don't care.
Like, that's fine.
I don't care.
I don't care. Whatever. I
dude.
thought the Hurricane trailer was very good. He does a very good job of it.
Oh, well, the trailer itself was fantastic.
Yeah.
But Cataclysm itself, whatever. I don't care enough to buy the collector's edition thing. You know what I mean?
I want it though because I want the Ragnaros flying mount.
Of course you do.
I want that fucking mount, bro. It's $30.
Yeah. I mean, $30 is not bad, but I mean, really, you're just getting a $30 mount. Because if you don't play Classic WoW and you don't care to like go into Cataclysm, it's like what's
exactly.
Also,
bro, if that mount is dragon riding though, like if it can be a dynamic flying mount, then like.
Well, they are adding the dynamic flying to other mounts in the game now, which is really cool.
I know it's a very cool system, but you know I don't think they're doing it for every mount. That's the thing.
No, they said it's going to be in the hundreds of like whatever mounts can. So like we like confirmed it was like Ashes of Alar. We saw the Invincible, or we didn't see, and we saw Invisible. Yeah. I have Invincible. I don't know what the big fuss is about. I have that mount. It's no big deal. It only took me like
personally, like I'm tired of the dragon riding mounts. Like I want to use my Griffin. I want to use like other flying mounts that I worked so hard to like get in the past. So like I'm happy that they're doing this.
Yeah, the dragon riding mounts are cool. I really only use one dragon riding mount, and it's the one you get from Azure, the Azure Span, the 4-legged one, the actual like dragon mount. I don't really like the other like, wyverns or the proto drakes. No, the proto drake doesn't. It has 2. It walks around like a little chicken. Like,
oh yeah, never mind. Yeah, I like the smaller one. That's like a wyvern,
like a lion.
Yeah, and I dabble in the bigger actual one.
I don't like the slither drake at all.
Bro, I was so mad because that one looks so cool, but when you actually get on it, like the wings are like this big. Like, it's like so small compared to the body. Like I don't know who designed that, man. Like I mean, no offense, but just make the wings a little bigger. That's all. You know.
I don't know, dude. It
looks like a flapping chicken. Like.
What was your like your favorite part about BlizzCon?
Season of Discovery announcement. Well, I'm sorry. Okay, the announcements.
Well, so let's do favorite announcement and then favorite like moment of BlizzCon, like as in its entirety.
Exactly. I'm the most excited for Season of Discovery and just like the expansion of Classic WoW and the experimentation of like new content in that. That's cool. I'm really excited about all the retail things added. That's great. My favorite part about BlizzCon was going to Blizzard. And getting a tour from Mike Shaftnit. Mike is the man. I mean, like, yeah.
I missed out. I missed out.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's all good, man. I flew in too late. It is what it is.
Flew in too late. There was the only... Next year, we'll fly in earlier and we'll do LiftCon and get gym sessions in with everybody that we didn't get to lift with.
Yes.
But, you know, the fact that Mike was able to get us in... was just so fucking awesome. And Mike is somebody that I was trying really hard to network with people in Blizzard just to get advice, how to further my career, while also letting them know that I really want to work for Blizzard. Yeah. Because my whole background was like machinima and like WoW content creators and shit. I'm like, all right, what is the next step? Like, what am I doing now? Like, obviously, it's got to be for Blizzard. So, you know, I talked with Mike. I mean, Taryn Gregory pointed me in the direction of Mike, and I ended up having a 3-hour Discord call with him about the industry and his background and like how to get a leg up in the gaming industry and stuff like that as an editor or somebody, you know. And from that conversation, like that conversation seeded like the ideas that became Everember. So I'm so grateful for that and for Mike, and then to have Mike bring us onto campus and show us around and show us like the capture studio, like where they actually do the animations for the cinematics and they do real WoW machinima, you know, and like it was wild. It was just super. Like I still haven't processed that it actually happened.
Yeah.
But you know, not only was that awesome, but like hanging with Mike for the majority of the con was great. And like now he's like our boy. So
yeah,
like,
we're like friends now.
We were boys
really
before,
cool.
but now we're even tighter, you know. So like I'm super appreciative of Mike, and getting to introduce him to like our content creator friends was great. I love one of them. Not saying who it was, but oh, you work for Blizzard? Are you guys doing anything about the botting? Like. He's like, I don't know, I can't say anything about that.
Yeah, I was like, oh, wrong.
I work in the fucking cinematics.
Wrong department, buddy.
Wrong department.
Yeah, wrong department. Yeah.
That was funny as fuck. Yeah.
Dude, I think, so like, obviously, like, I'm a big retail Randall. It is what it is. Yeah. Like, Classic WoW was fun. I played it at launch. I got to like 57. Pretty good, right? I lost interest. I was like, well, like,
yeah.
I think the biggest thing for me, like, for Classic WoW, like, there was, like, such a long wait time on Fairlina to even play. Like, I was scheduling my life around Classic WoW, and I just didn't want to do that anymore. Yeah, I just didn't want to do it. I had 2 kids, or I only had 1 kid at the time. But it was just not a good time for me to be doing that. So,
yeah.
I think the best thing about BlizzCon for me, like announcements wise, was the 3 expansion reveal. Like that to me is such like a big dick power play on Blizzard's part. Where like, hey, not only are we going to show you what's coming up next, but we're also going to show you the next 2 expansions afterwards, and we have this planned out to be until around 2030. So the next 6 years of your life are planned out. Yeah. In this game, like we have the story figured out, and it's all going to tie in seamlessly together, and it's all going to make sense, and it's all intentional. That's my favorite part about BlizzCon, was that like everything made sense. There was nothing that was like, why are they doing this? Other than, I understand why they're doing Cataclysm, because it makes sense like story wise. Like, okay, well, like Cataclysm's next, but like but like even like nothing was like, there was nothing that I'm like shaking my head or like, why?
Yeah.
Everything made sense. Everything was there for a reason.
Yeah, all of that aside, I mean, like the biggest thing from BlizzCon I to mention in the beginning was like just seeing everybody.
It's like just hanging out at the Hilton, dude, was like the most fun.
What do you say?
Hanging out at the Hilton was like the most fun.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you don't want to go to the actual con, like go to the just fly out just for the Hilton lobby. Like, it was just so awesome to see old friends and current friends, and make new friends.
Oh yeah.
You know, it was just wild. It's such a fucking, what's the word? Just like mind fuck when you're interacting with so many people on Twitter, on Twitch, on social media, just on a daily basis, and then you're finally like together in person, and it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
like I've been watching you.
You know them,
years.
But you don't like know them.
Yeah. But the craziest thing was like having people come up to me, and like I'm not really anybody really, but like people recognize what I've done, and I'm like, holy shit! Like people know what I'm doing. Like, what the fuck? Like that's kind of crazy. So it was just wild to like hang out with people and just like close out the Hilton and the Marriott with Bellular.
Oh yeah, dude, Bellular. Bellular is he is the lad. He is the boy, dude. Like
yeah, and it's crazy because like I've been watching him for 12 years, pretty much. Like, since mom.
Yeah. Like, same. I think
I never thought I would be working with him and getting drunk with him. So, and I even said the same thing to Preach. I got to talk to Preach. I didn't get a picture with him, but I was just like, dude, like I was talking to both of them directly. I was like, both of you guys, like, you guys were like the fucking. I've been watching you guys for the longest, man. Like, and I can't believe like we're here, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it was very surreal. Like getting like putting faces to the screen name.
Yeah.
Like, I even met people who like hang out in my stream, and I'm like,
Yeah.
no one watches my stream. Like, why? But like, I had people that come up to me like,
it's crazy. Like, like everybody's coming together.
Yeah,
it's
it's a reunion. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It feels like a big reunion.
Yeah.
And I love BlizzCon, man. Like, I cannot wait. I pretty much told Jen, like, look, I'm going to BlizzCon next year too. Like,
well, she's coming,
and she's gonna come too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think she may just
and
go to Disney
I'll bring
World.
my wife when that happens.
Yes, of course. Yes. We'll make it a big family trip. The kids will stay home though.
Yeah.
My
hypothetical wife.
the kids are going to grandma's house, okay, for that weekend.
Yeah.
But
yeah, absolutely.
I think if you are any fan of Blizzard game, I think you going to BlizzCon is depending on your financial situation, of course.
So expensive.
It's very expensive, but it is. I wouldn't change anything about it.
Yeah.
Nope. I would relive those 2 days again, 100%. The one thing.
Best weekend of my life.
Oh, easily. Well, I can't say that because I have wife and kids, but best weekend of my gaming life.
Yes.
So, but I mean, if you saw us at BlizzCon, it was a pleasure meeting you, and we're already at an hour. Like I said, I could just keep going. We could just keep going forever, but
yeah,
we have to wrap it up eventually. I think this BlizzCon announcements wise was the best they've ever done. Even like the Diablo 4 stuff was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really see much of the Diablo expansion, but I'm excited to try it.
The trailer looked really cool. It was like ancient Incan Mayan temples and Central America.
I mean, here's
vibes.
the thing: like, I got into Diablo because I wasn't a fan of Dragonflight. So like, if retail is good and WoW's in a good spot when the next Diablo comes out, I might not even play it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
listen.
We'll see.
I think everyone's gonna be playing the retail expansion. Even the classic Andes who are like,
Quissy was like, even retail was promising. Like,
even if you don't, or even if you're not like a big classic WoW or a big retail fan, like everyone comes back for the new expansion. You got to try the new expansion at least, and do the level and get to max level, and then like you got to try it out at least, right? Try it out and try it out.
Yep.
So I'm still like high from BlizzCon, man. Like I
know. Yeah.
And
I'm still like I'm like off to the side, like talking to Abaddon, like, bro, like BlizzCon was such a good fucking time, like blah blah blah, like can't stop talking about how awesome it was.
It was just so much fun, man. Like I would not want it to be any different.
Yeah, I know.
The only thing I just want more of it.
I want more.
And I know I shouldn't.
And I should.
Yeah, but I should, and I expect more next time. Yeah. I want more next time, Blizzard.
Dude, I was so mad because the last Star Wars Celebration was there. And I really wish I went.
Just go when it's in Florida next time.
Well, the next one is in Japan. I'm not going to Japan, but hopefully the next one is either in Orlando or at the Anaheim Convention Center.
What if it's in Austin?
Hey, I'll take you.
What if it's in Austin, Texas?
Oh! Imagine that. Oh my god.
Oh, that'd be so much fun.
I miss Texas. I want to go back to Texas right now.
Texas misses you, Adam. But I think
I was so lucky that I had a layover twice on the way there and back.
Oh, I know. Barbecue. Yeah, it's beautiful.
That was so good.
I think Austin planned that for you intentionally. He's like, oh yeah,
yeah, I guess so.
Get this flight because you got to go to Austin. But yeah,
that's right. He did pick the flight for me.
BlizzCon was amazing. The announcements were awesome. I think the overall theme of the weekend is that WoW is back. WoW is so back, and
so back.
I'm excited for it. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for WoW to be back, man.
I'm ready to no life WoW again, and I'm actually motivated to do so.
I've been playing retail. I've been playing WoW. Like, I'm having fun playing WoW again. I know like the new patch is always fun, but like I did the mega dungeon last night, and it was a ton of fun.
Thanks for the fucking.
It was at like 9:00 after you already went to bed. Okay, it's 10:00 your time. You were already asleep.
I want to get the skin for the dragon riding.
I got one of them, I think.
The
Oh,
black one?
I don't know. Yeah, it's like
automatic drop?
it's like the Twilight. No,
Yeah.
but it's not like for all of the drakes. It's only for like one of the drake. It's like a manuscript. I know it's lame, but I did get the one person traded me the infinite staff thing where like you can click it and you learn like an old you learn like an old appearance.
Oh yeah.
Like a removed item from the game. So I'm gonna keep that until the warbands are out, and then I'm gonna send it to my warband bank, and then use it for my.
That's smart. Yeah, maybe the next time we'll talk about
start
warbands,
start saving your transmog chat because
yeah, exactly.
You know
exactly. Yeah,
you got to keep it. So yeah, we're gonna get more into the weeds of like the individual stuff. But I just wanted this one to be like about like our BlizzCon experience and kind of like a summary of the 4 days of straight degeneracy that we experienced.
Yeah.
My sleep schedule is still messed up from it.
Now I'm on Xanax, so I'm cured up.
that'll fix you right up.
Yep. Exactly.
All right. Well, we will see you next time on the next episode of our show. That to be named.
Show blank.
It's to be named. It's to be determined.
TB named.
TBD.
Yes.
The
TBN.
Yeah. TB.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something like that. Again, I'm your host, Chocolate, and of course, always with me is Adam Schwaggins. Back to you, San Diego.